President Trump says he's confident the GOP tax bill will get Sen. Marco Rubio's vote despite a Washington Post report that Rubio is threatening to vote against the plan unless it includes the child tax credit expansion he has been advocating for. Trump made the comments at a White House event where he cut the red tape of government regulations and claimed his administration has ended 22 old regulations for every new one created. Florida Republican Sen. Marco Rubio informed Senate leaders that he would vote against the Republicans' $1.5 trillion tax plan unless it includes the child tax credit provision he has been advocating for, a Senate GOP source told The Washington Post. Why it matters: Republicans can afford to only lose 2 votes to pass it through the Senate. Bob Corker, who voted no on the Senate bill, said he'll consider the conference's final version. Rubio turning on the bill would mean Vice President Pence would be needed to break the tie. Editors note this post has been updated to reflect Corker's statement on the conference version of this bill. It's called Koch Disruptive Technologies, and will be separate from the company's private equity group Koch Equity Development, which is supporting Meredith Corp's takeover of magazine publisher Time Inc. No word on dollar allocations, but a Koch source calls it a significant focus for the company, as evidenced by putting the boss son in charge. Also on the team will be new hire Jason Ilian, founder and ex-CEO of a Dallas-based startup called Bookshot. Its first deal was announced this morning, leading a $150 million Series E round for INSIGHTEC, an Israel-based developer of MRI-guided ultra devices for surgery. Per an internal email from Koch CFO Steve Feilmeyer, we all know that the rate of change in the marketplace is accelerating. This is a threat to every business we operate. However, it also creates opportunity if we identify and invest in those entrepreneurs and technologies that can improve our businesses or potentially create a new business platform. Go deeper. Politico's Nancy Scola recently wrote on the unexpected partnership between Koch and Silicon Valley. "It's not a job I ever wanted in the first place," Ryan told Politico. "If I was dying to be speaker, I guess it probably would be a dagger over my head. But I don't think like that." But Ryan's press secretary, Ashley Strong, tells Axios, this is pure speculation. As the speaker himself said today, he's not going anywhere anytime soon. Between the lines, Ryan's exit will likely remain speculation until he gets the tax bill his personal white whale, per Fuller passed. If Ryan publicly lets on that he's a lame duck, his fundraising capacity and deal-making leverage would be vastly diminished, making the House all the more difficult to govern, Politico reports. Trump called Paul Ryan after Politico's story broke and asked him if he was leaving. Ryan told Trump he wasn't going anywhere. Parade, Josh Dawsey at JDawsey1 December 14, 2017. Republicans are considering bumping up the expiration date for individual tax cuts from the end of 2025 to the end of 2024, The Washington Post reports. This would give them extra revenue to work with while staying within budget rules. The lower corporate rate is expected to be permanent, as it was in both the House and Senate bills. Why this matters: this is ammo for the argument that the tax bill is mainly for the rich. While Republicans insist that a future Congress won't ever let the lower individual rates expire, the move would be an admission that the bill will end up costing much more than $1.5 trillion. Other key findings that highlight the disparity between men and women: 25% of working women say they have earned less than a man who was doing the same job, while 5% of working men say they earn less than a female peer. 0.15% of working women say they have received less support from senior leaders than a man who was doing the same job, while only 7% men say the same. 0.10% of working women say they have been passed over for the most important assignments because of their gender, compared with 5% of men. The Pew survey was conducted July 11 to August 10, 2017, with a nationally representative sample of 4,914 adults. AG was long speculated to receive the position after being promoted to deputy publisher last year. His 2 cousins, David Perpick and Sam Dolnick, who both hold high-level positions within the company, were also rumored to take the reins. In a statement, Arthur praised his son's ability to continue to lead the Times transformation into a modern-day digital media company. "I am completely confident that he, AG, and his cousins who are working alongside him will dedicate themselves to preserving the excellence at the Times that my family has been committed to for over 120 years. Under Arthur O. Sulzberger Jr., the New York Times has managed to transform the company into a consumer-first business that relies more on subscription revenue than advertising. The feat is significant given that many in today's media landscape are struggling to monetize digital advertising businesses amid the advertising dominance of Google and Facebook. The Times recently announced that it now has more than 3.5 million paid subscriptions and more than 130 million monthly readers, more than double its audience just 2 years ago. Rep. Blake Farenthold RTX will not seek re-election following allegations of UAL harassment from multiple former staff members, Politico reports. When accused of using public funds to settle UAL harassment charges, Farenthold originally claimed he had done nothing wrong. The House Ethics Committee recently initiated an investigation into the claims, and today CNN reported that a former senior aide planned to tell his damning account of Farenthold's misconduct. Key quote from the Post: "The result is without obvious parallel in U.S. history, a situation in which the personal insecurities of the president, and his refusal to accept what even many in his administration regard as objective reality, have impaired the government's response to a national security threat. The repercussions radiate across the government.